If you do a paint correction to your car too many times, you're gonna run out of clear coat. So you need a strategy, or a system if you want to sound smart. This is what the paint on my daily driven 4Runner looked like 7 years after its last paint correction. Since it was corrected, it's been used as a family vehicle, driven in the winter, and even traveled across the country and back. And during that time, one thing it hasn't seen is this right here. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to keep your paint looking amazing while retaining as much clear coat as possible. Let me walk you through the exact plan that we're going to use. As you can see, it's actually a cycle with 4 different stages. The cool thing about this is that if you follow it, you should be able to keep your paint healthy and looking shiny for at least 20 plus years. Now, something you see all the time here on YouTube and social media is an epic paint correction transformation. They show you these drastic before and after shots, and it's really impressive. But there's a problem. These videos, whether they mean to or not, they tend to lead you to believe that whenever your paint starts to look a little bit dull or a little swirled up, you just do a complete paint correction and it's like brand new again. The thing is, the people that act this way towards their cars tend to also be the type that replace them with a new one every couple of years. Matt from Obsessed Garage doesn't give a crap if he grinds off half the clear coat of his Porsche because he's probably just gonna drive it 7 miles and replace it in 3 months. No offense, Matt. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But the issue here is following that way of thinking if you do plan to keep your car for a long time. In that case, the advice of just do a paint correction anytime it's less than perfect is leading you off a cliff. You only have so much clear coat, and when it's gone, it's gone. In general, you can do a paint correction to a car roughly 4 times or so before the clear coat starts getting too thin. So you need to keep that in the back of your mind every time you're detailing your car. You have to really manage your expectations here. For starters, is the vehicle a weekend fun toy or a daily driver? 2 different expectations. It's pretty easy to keep a garage queen looking perfect. But for daily drivers, life is hard. They get scratched, swirled, dented. There are so many threats to a daily driver's paint job, like your kids or public parking lots. It just isn't realistic to keep them 100% flawless. But you can still make it look better than every other car on your street. So how do we do that? Well, in stage 1, you've got to build your foundation. Whether you've recently bought your car or you just started caring about detailing, you're probably going to want to do a full paint correction in order to get your car looking right. And yes, brand new cars can usually benefit from a paint correction too. Even if it hasn't been sitting on the lot for a long time, it's been transported by a train or a ship, likely improperly washed already and possibly even scratched. There's no such thing as a brand new car. I used to work at a Toyota factory. Trust me, your seats have already been farted in. In stage 1, you're going to focus on getting your paint as close to perfect as you can, safely. But it's important to be realistic here. Remember, we've got different expectations based on the type of life this vehicle lives. So if you're dealing with a daily driver and you find yourself faced with the choice between either chasing a scratch or retaining as much clear coat as possible, you should always choose the clear coat. You need that protection the most. Scratches are ugly, but failed clear coat is uglier. As a matter of fact, you might even want to consider just doing a paint enhancement with an all-in-one polish rather than a full-on paint correction. I sell a course that teaches people how to do exactly this called the Ultimate Gloss Guide. And the reason I named it that is because if all you care about is just making your paint look glossy, there's really no reason to remove every single scratch. But let's say you do want to remove as many scratches as possible. Okay, cool. This is the only time in the whole cycle that you're going to be doing a full, complete paint correction. So that means deep cleaning, clay bar, compounding, polishing, etc. The whole 9 yards. The goal here is to set the foundation for what your paint is going to look like going forward. Basically, this is as good as it gets, so take your time on this. At this point, you should really consider applying a ceramic coating. I know they're not for everyone, but just hear me out. While the coating won't make your paint scratch-proof or even as hard as a 9H pencil, it is a key player in how well this strategy will work for you. And that's because they change the surface tension of your paint. Things are less likely to actually bite in to be able to scratch it. It just gives you a little bit more room for error if you do happen to do something that normally creates swirl marks or marring. And it also makes washing your car a lot easier since dirt and grime are less likely to stick to it. And if you think about it, the dirtier a vehicle is, it increases the odds of creating swirl marks and scratches. Because that dirt's gotta come off somehow. If you really don't want to mess around with ceramic stuff, that's okay, you can just stick with a regular polymer sealant. Just know that your results might not be the same. So this is the first stage of this whole system, and once you've nailed that, your paint will be looking its absolute best. Now this is where the cycle shifts from improving its condition to hanging on to the results for as long as possible. And you do that in stage 2, which is mastering safe maintenance washes. A maintenance wash is literally just that, maintaining the results of your paint correction. The key here is that we want to lengthen the amount of time that we spend in this stage as much as possible. Ideally, at least 2 years. The better you are at washing your car safely, the longer this can last. Also, don't wash your car unless it actually needs it. Every time you touch your paint, there's a chance of marring. So limiting how often you touch it is actually kind of smart. Basically, don't just wash your car for the fun of it, but feel free to keep it as clean as possible. My preferred method is to foam the car, rinse it, then foam it again. Then I do my contact wash with a single bucket but multiple towels. Once it gets dirty, I toss it aside and grab a fresh one from the bucket. This way, the dirt from the car never has a chance to contaminate my soapy water. I feel like this does the best job of lowering the risk of creating swirl marks. But if you'd rather stick with the traditional 2-bucket method to go along with your New Balance sneakers, then go for it. Roasted! Now, one thing we're not going to do is use a clay bar here. This has a high potential for creating marring in your paint, and I even proved it in a recent video. Look at what happened to my paint, guys. I'm not anti-clay bar by any means, but I do believe they should only be used when you're going to be polishing your paint afterwards. But since we're not polishing at all in stage 2, just skip the clay bar. Using a ceramic spray sealant is a great idea whether your paint is ceramic coated or not. Aim for every other wash. If you use it like a drying aid, it'll help to limit the chances of creating swirls, and it'll also boost up your protection just a little bit. I like to do a dry application every once in a while though. It's more effective at leaving protection behind since it's not diluted by any of the water that's standing on the surface. Think of stage 2 as prolonging the need to polish your paint again. Unfortunately, minor marring and swirl marks are inevitable as time passes though, especially if you have soft paint or like gloss black paint that shows everything. So that brings us to stage 3, the maintenance polish. Let me answer a question that you probably have right now. Aren't we avoiding polishing our paint? The answer is no. We're avoiding a paint correction. This is different. Because you've been taking such good care of your paint by washing it safely, you're probably only going to have some minor swirl marks and maybe the odd blemish here and there. This can be remedied with a quick pass with a finishing polish. Basically, that final refinement step of a paint correction. It's super gentle because it's really just intended to remove any of the leftover hazing behind from the compounding step and bring out the last remaining bit of gloss. So that's perfect for this situation right here where your paint is only starting to show the beginnings of minor defects. If you've been dying to use your clay bar, well, good news. Now's the time. You'll be doing the same prep work that you did before the paint correction in stage 1, so feel free to decontaminate your paint. The polish will take care of any marring that it leaves behind. If you've ceramic coated your paint, especially with a 2-layer system like G-Technic CSL, this is where it gets a little tricky. And I haven't really seen anybody talking about this kind of stuff on here. Because in this case, the main coating is advertised to last around 5 years. But the top coating, or EXO, is only rated for 2 years. So the best case scenario here is to do a sniper shot. The goal here is to remove the remaining top coat while leaving the base coating healthy and intact. As long as it's not worn down too much, this should be possible. Whether you have a ceramic coating or not, make sure that you don't do any compounding in stage 3. That's the part that's removing the clear coat, and more than likely both layers of your ceramic coating. Stick with a refinement polish like Menzerna 3500 or Meguiar's M205, or I think the new one is M210, or a lot of people like Sonak's Perfect Finish. Doesn't matter what brand you use. Technique is everything. You don't hear a lot of people saying that on here either. I wonder why. Speaking of which, you really want to do the least amount of polishing here as possible. So fix what needs to get fixed, and then get out. You'll probably be able to work a little quicker than you did in stage 1 because there should be fewer scratches to remove. Hopefully, way fewer scratches. Approach this with the same mindset as your maintenance washes. Don't touch it unless you have to. Once your paint is freshened up and hopefully looking as good as it did after stage 1, it's time to apply a fresh top layer of your ceramic coating. Or, if you think both layers are worn out, apply both. At this point, you've kind of hit the reset button on your paint's appearance without removing the clear coat that you would with a full paint correction. Awesome. So now for stage 4, we're going back to focusing on maintenance washes again. Basically the same as stage 2, so no more clay bars and be careful with how you touch your car. And since you got pretty good at this in stage 2 last time, you should be a pro at making your results last. That's perfect because in stage 4, you really want to extend this for as long as possible. Because if you notice in the image of this whole cycle, there isn't any more stages after this. When your paint finally starts looking beat up, it's time to go all the way back to stage 1 again, restart the cycle, and do another full paint correction. Hopefully, it's been at least 5 years or so at that point, and the damage isn't as bad as the first time around. If you can stretch this entire process out across at least 5 years, and we figure that you can get away with doing a paint correction about 4 times on your car, that means this will keep your paint looking incredible for 20 plus years. I'm halfway through it on my 4Runner. So far, so good. But there's a cheat code. If you can succeed at stage 2, avoiding scratching and marring, then you can stay there indefinitely or bounce back and forth between stage 2 and stage 3 for the entire life of the car. If you can get away with doing a gentle maintenance polish every few years on your car and nothing more than that, your paint is going to last forever. Better yet, the absolute best case is to just stay in stage 2 for the entire time that you own the car. This goes to show the importance of that maintenance stage, so make sure you put the effort into learning how to do it right. What might seem like a simple Saturday afternoon wash can literally make or break how long your car's paint lasts. Since this process spreads out over at least a few years, hopefully, it can be kind of hard to remember when you entered each stage. I use my template in Notion to log all of my vehicle maintenance and repairs, so I just keep track of it there. That way, if I start noticing swirl marks appearing, I can look back and see that it's been a little while since I entered stage 1, and I'm probably due for the maintenance polish. A paper note or a document on your phone or something will work great too. Just make sure that you're writing it down somewhere. There's one element that I haven't talked about yet, and it can throw a wrench into this entire plan. It's crucial that you avoid adding new scratches to your paint. Otherwise, you'll be heading back to stage 1 way sooner than you should. The problem is, some of the things that cause scratches aren't very obvious. So watch this video next to learn what not to do.